Hey everyone, welcome back to another war video. This one, war number 11 of season 42, for Loki taking on PALO. You can see I have Apoc, no Cable, because Ultron and Hulkling are coming along. 6 fights this war, so let's jump right in. I am on path 2 to start. This is why I don't have Cable, because I'll be using Apoc for this Professor X. Apoc, if he can fight a mutant, he doesn't need the Cable synergy to ramp. The only big thing to worry about is I'm at 3 charges instead of 4, so if I hit the block with a light attack, it's not going to passively stun. So like right there, normally that would stun, it doesn't here. So Professor X is a global defender, so I just got to worry about the prowess giving him his power gain, and I also have to worry about the falter. But nothing too crazy. Professor X isn't too difficult of a defender, as long as you really just kind of keep the falter in mind. So there I just, hit into him to knock the falter off. I am just trying to get up to my special 2. You can see I put on the full set of recoil masteries, not for this fight, for the next fight, but you can see this special 2 is going to hit very hard, and that's going to get rid of Professor X very quickly. So that was just the ramp fight. This is the big one. So this is Dr. Doom here on node 26. So this is hazard shift, shock, and bleed. It also has conflictor, which Apoc doesn't worry about, and then crumbling armor, which will help me. So basically with Dr. Doom, if you get a shock on you and he throws a heavy, he passively stuns you, so it can be a little annoying. So obviously I hit him right at the tail end of the shock. I get a shock on me, he throws a heavy, and I get Doom slapped. So that's fun. But, I'm Apoc able to hang on so far. Nothing too crazy. I throw that special 2. Does a good amount of damage. So this is why I wanted the full set of recoil masteries. One, because I knew the armor break. So the armor break's on me now. Because I know I was going to dance around in the shock phase. So the armor break was going to help offset the poison. But, I wanted to make sure that I had enough damage, because I know I've taken Doom enough with Apoc that I just don't crit on specials at all, or really ever on anything. So I wanted to get just the full raw damage. So 2 special 2s and a special 1, and Apoc is able to take out that Doom. So, that is not a easy fight. Apoc able to handle it pretty well, though, with his health pool and with his specials doing a bunch of damage. So I'm on path 9 here in section 2. I will be fighting this future Ant-Man. This is the fight I brought Hulkling for. Hulkling also benefits from the recoil masters because he's poison immune. I do have a full 3 points in coagulate because of the bleed nodes that I was taking, so I didn't want to take too much damage on the bleeds. But here with future Ant-Man, just want to build up my Hulkling charges, shapeshift charges, and then I want him to back off so I can hit him in the block a bunch. And then, unlike last war against Shuri, future Ant-Man can't block unblockable special attacks, so that went pretty well with me just knocking the entirety of the 5-hit combo into the block and then throwing it directly into a special 2. So you can see I'm doing pretty well in terms of damage here. I am hitting him now in bleed phase, but I'm not really too concerned about it. This is the only fight for Hulkling in the war, and the bleeds are not doing too much damage, in part because of the coagulate and everything that I have on. But there I throw a second special 2, and that is enough to take out future Ant-Man. So that node also has one eye open, so that's part of the reason also why I didn't parry at all. But Hulkling very, very strong for that fight. Next fight here is going to be why I brought Ultron. It is Bishop. Bishop can be really annoying here. There's really only 2 kind of safe counters, as I sprint directly into a heavy and then get comboed, so really fun. Ultron is one, Quake is the other. There are other champs who can take this fight, but it can be really dicey. The reason why Ultron is good is because basically the node gives you bleed and shock. Ultron's immune to bleed, and then at my Sig 200, he has the shocks last 80% less. And then Bishop throws Incinerates on top of it. So it's 3 different debuffs you have to really worry about, and Ultron is able to handle all of them. Quake, obviously, she can also do this fight because she just doesn't care about anything, but, you know, Quake. So here, I'm getting hit a decent amount, but, you know, Ultron's regen definitely helps. This node has nerves of steel, so that's why he's getting these passive armor ups. I need to hit his block to get rid of those. But at this point, you know, just didn't really need too many more hits. And Ultron able to handle that fight pretty well despite my early bad play. Next fight here is going to be Nova on node 47. This has one-eyed open, and then the protection node. So basically it's a 90% protection until I knock him down. You can see there, heavy, knock him down, so now I'm good to go. This node also has power efficiency, so Nova can throw a bunch of specials. His power gain is kind of underrated, but if he gets 6 buffs, he then his specials cost half the amount of power. You can see here I throw this special too, and that does a bunch of damage. So that's where, you know, the recoil masteries are really putting in some work. I throw this next heavy, and I throw this special 3, and spoiler alert, that's going to be enough to KO Nova. So Nova can be a little bit difficult to deal with on certain nodes, but Apoc just able to blitz through. So next fight is going to be the last fight for me, and as you can tell by the title of this video, the streak is going to end here. So, I mean, just this is a very frustrating fight. This is Ebony Maw on node 55, so it has the Brute Force, Limber, and Do Not Disturb. Apoc is not the best for this fight, but, like, he can definitely do it. Like, that's not the reason I died. You know, like I said, there are certainly better options. Apoc, though, just based on the way that the map went, he was our best option based on who was in there. So, you know, the big things that you really need to worry about for Maw, there's really only one. You can't hit him into the falter. So you can see here, I throw the special 2, and the last hit goes into the falter. So that's great. But then you can see he's down to 35% health. So I'm doing pretty well. Brute Force, though, now that's ticking, and now I'm about to get into the falter again, which this concussion actually failed it. But then I parried him, Limber. So you can see the Brute Force is really doing a bunch of damage. So now I needed to throw that special 2 earlier. I needed to not throw as many just regular attacks. You can see there it faltered again, and then recoil ended up knocking me out. Technically. So just a lot of misplays in there. You can see, though, how close he was to dying. You know, if I made 3 major mistakes in that fight, and if I only make 2 major mistakes, it's fine. You can see, though, he had less than 3,000 health left, 2,688. So a frustrating end to the streak because it was so avoidable. But 6 fights in this one gets me to 47 now on the season. The 1 death, as you just saw, that snaps Apoc's personal streak at 104 and my overall streak at 150. So we start a new streak next war. The good news, though, is we were able to win this one. So it was a bit of an interesting war, a little sloppy on both sides, to be completely honest. But we were able to pull the win out in the end, gets us to 6-4 on the season, heading into the very last war. Now, like I said, I don't know what place we're in because they haven't updated the leaderboard. We think we are right around the top 10 mark, so we will be hoping to get a win in the last war to secure a top 10 season. But that will do it for this one. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it despite the streak finally ending. But like I said, we'll start a new one next war. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see everyone soon.